Hey everybody, this is Commercy Capsule / Mr. Smiles a Lot with another Let's Talk Me to LLC audio podcast, and I am in the lovely island of Florida here, Naples, Florida, with my cousin / Aunt Tracy Gibbs. How you doing, Trace?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Well, this is very special to me because I know you have a lot of great adventures and a lot of awesome stories to tell. That you and I have had a lot of funny stories growing up together, talking about the Capshaw family, the Cushings, and the Cofelds, and everyone like that, the Gibbses. Basically, this podcast today is just going to be about what life is about and, you know, your values and just how you think about life and stuff. I guess I can start off with... Tracy, you and I are in a lot of the same ways of we want nothing but positivity and love, and we want affirmation, and there's so much hate and so much the bad things that happen in this world, and it bothers me. And, you know, I think it's good that you're one of those people that will give tips. You will give out your advice, and it's very loving, motherly advice, and I just want to say I do appreciate that. And, you know, even if when someone says, oh, she's telling me how to live my life. No, she's not. No. She's giving me her advice based on what she knows.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, if you, like, what, in your opinion, what's just some really good life advice things that you think everyone should live by, whether it's being a mom or just being an adult or just being somebody in general, like, in your opinion, you know?
Yeah. Well, first of all, when you just said, I like to give advice, I think most people that know me would say, I do share advice, but I truly believe that everything that we go through in our life, God is a blessing to us. We may not see it at that particular time, but as we move on through that problem or that life situation, we realize it was a blessing. And I've always felt like it's a responsibility for me. It's my responsibility, and God would want me to share my knowledge with the people I love. One thing about my grandparents, grandmother Capshaw and grandmother Flo Welsh, is that they were so instrumental in who I am today and in forming me as a young person. But I feel at the age I am at 60 that there are really a lot of things that I wish they would have been more open about and explain to me or talk to me.
Right.
But at that point, people did not talk about mental illness. They didn't talk about abuse.
Right.
It was something you just plowed through and you survived. And so, yeah, I really always feel like if I can give someone just a different take or an insight into what has worked for me, that that's a knowledge that maybe it will resonate, and maybe that will help them, and maybe not.
And, you know, I think the biggest problem, though, like I was saying earlier, is that some people might say, oh, she's trying to tell me how to live my life. That's how they take it. And here's the thing, I agree with you. God has put us all on this earth for a purpose, for a reason. And if He didn't give me the talent to do this media stuff, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be doing this with you. And that's why, believe it or not, I felt like I said, okay, I know I shouldn't do any media work because I'm on vacation, but who's someone I could talk to? I feel like who would have a really good voice and know how to say things. And he gave me her name. And I'm like, you know what? Tracy would be great. No, you're right.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. The thing is that when I do my media stuff, when I give my advice videos, speaking of videos, I give my advice based on my life experiences. I don't ever say, live your life like this, right? I don't ever say, I will say you should do this, you should do that, but that's up to them. That's not on me. That's up to them. And surprisingly, no one said, oh, you're wrong about this, or you have bad advice on this, or anything like that, because I feel like what I'm saying might actually be helping someone.
Right.
And I think I know that God gave me that talent to be like, hey, you've had life experiences, I've shown you how to work with technology and things like that. Besides you training yourself and everything you've done under your mentor Alex Petro when you're with him, it's like, but you have a message and you need to put it out there. And I feel like you're the same way, you know, like, and the funny thing about the whole learning thing of like not learning versus when you're older, you're 60, but are you still not learning today? Isn't that what the funny thing is?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
still learning today, right?
Oh, constantly learning. And, you know, I've learned a lot from everyone I've ever encountered and been involved with or known. And you really do have to love people. And it sounds so cliche.
No.
But you have to really love people for like who they are. And that really is cliche. Because it's easy to say, but really difficult to do. But if you realize, and I think I've always told my kids this throughout their life, I said when they've had hurt feelings from someone or maybe a friend did them wrong, I said, well, you know what? You have actually learned who they are.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And so the power now is in your hands because you know who this person is and you know what to expect from them. And if you know who they are and you know what to expect from them, then you love them in a way that is appropriate.
It's funny you say that because a long time ago I did a podcast or I did a video where I said, look, you can be as nice and caring and loving as you can, but like you said, when someone shows you their true colors, you can forgive them. God wants you to forgive them. God wants you to accept them. But God gives you signs. If someone shows you they're a constant nuisance, if they're a problem with you, if they're a problem with your friends, if they cause nothing but problems or issues or turmoil on your own life,
and they don't make you feel good about
and
yourself, then
as much as you don't want to, you got to let them go. I'm sorry, but you're right. It's a finicky.
I think you should let them go in
microdoses or whatever they call it.
Yeah. You don't have to let them go completely.
No, like I
because there's obviously something that they bring to the table that really you're attracted to or you like. But what I'm saying is, if you know who they are, you know what to expect from them, and so your relationship then changes in the sense that you're not vulnerable. You don't put yourself out there in a way that you can be hurt, I guess is one.
I know what you mean. Like, it's one of those things of where I have friends I still think about, but then I think about what would my life be if I was still there with him in my life, and it wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
As loving and as accepting as I am, as forgiving as I am, as much as I'd like to be like, oh yeah, like if you show me, they've shown me this, honestly the bad side of them too much, so I'm like, you know what, thank you for your time, I'm gonna miss you, but I can't. And especially with being a father and being a husband and trying to keep my life together, it's not that you don't want to love these people, like you said. It's just that when they constantly show you this is who I am.
No, if someone's not healthy for you,
it's hard, you know.
Yeah,
that
is very true. You're going to meet people in your life that they were, for whatever reason, you were attracted to them at that point.
Yeah.
But you've seen their true colors, and you're like, okay, you know, that was a period of my life that is over with, and I wish you well, but you cannot be a part of my life. There's definitely that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people that are generally really good people.
Generally, yes.
And but you just know that they have
something.
We all have flaws.
No.
We all have flaws.
No one's perfect. Like my problem is, and funny thing, I talk to my director at work about this all the time. He's a super hardcore Christian man. He turned his life over when he was like 37 to God. You know, like pretty young, but he's in his 60s now, retiring soon. Gonna miss that guy. But just like you said, like he tells me, we all have a choice, but we can't choose the consequence of that choice, which is crazy, and that's so true. Same, especially with God. You have the choice to be this way or do this or do this or do that, and even if it's good, you can't. If it's a good thing, you're going to get a good consequence. But if it's not, so example, me, like you said, having those friends and loving them with all my heart, that was my choice. The consequence of my choice was maybe overseeing who they really were and seeing the good side of them only, right?
Yeah.
But that clouded my mind, it clouded my eyes on seeing who they really were, and it ended up hurting me in the end. Ended up hurting our friendship, our relationship, whatever we had going.
But that's a very special gift you have, because you do really see, and I've known you since you were a baby, you do really only see the good in people.
I try.
And that's
I try.
a blessing, but I do think that as you're managing it well, but yeah, you have to be careful. Some people don't, as much as you want them to only want the best and be good, it's just not who they are. And so you do have to let them go.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. I don't care who you are. It hurts.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, man, I miss that person. But then you're like,
But you know what? You're only 33 years old, and to have the wisdom that you have,
thank you.
and the faith that you have, that's really wonderful. And it's probably not as common as I wish it were.
You want to know why, Tracy? Because I'm mad at this world. Oh my God, that's me. Speaking of, okay, I'm going to start crying here. Not crying, but like when you find out who you really are, it's like it tears you down, but it makes you a better person.
Yeah.
Because I've been through so much, right? Because I've been through the bullying, I've been through the ridicule, I've been through everything under the sun you could think of when it comes to physical and mental bullying, and just not just that. Just seeing how mean and angry and evil the world is. That's why I try to be so nice. That is exactly why. Because I'm like, you know what? Why is everybody so hated? Why is everyone being so mean? Why do you think you have the right to look at this person, or you're an internet troll, you say what you want on the internet and not have any backlash and think, oh, I'm not mentally hurting this person. Yes, you are. How do you feel good about that? I'm just getting emotional here. The reason is because it burns me to my core to see that.
Yeah.
And I'm not perfect. And that's why I think I'm so angry at the world. And that's the problem is I know one day God's going to show me you're an angry person. You know what? That's okay, because when you turn your life over to Him, He doesn't want you to be completely cleansed, believe it or not. He wants you to show Him your flaws, so He can accept you for who you are as His child of God. So it's going to be scary when He does. But when He shows me you're this angry person because this and this, and then I can finally let all my walls down and let Him take over and say, I give up. I can't do this. I can't. I'm getting closer. I'm getting so close. But once I finally let it down, it's just. But I feel like, and I said this to my director, there's a few things in my life I need to take care of myself before I can fully turn my life over to God. Now I know if I fully turn it over, He might make it easier, and that's just my stubbornness. And I don't think that's Satan talking. I just think that's my internal struggle to being like, I need to do this before I turn my life over to You completely. But thank You for how far You've taken me to where I am now. I'm sorry if I'm rambling on, but
no, you're not.
Do you get what I mean? Like, tell me what you think about that.
I do. At my age, the first thing I think about when I hear people that, for instance, the fight that was in St. Louis, between those two girls.
Yeah.
It was
like Parkway or something, or
no, in Parkway it was
Hazelwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the first thoughts that came in my mind after seeing that on the news was and this was before I knew anything. I didn't know
what happened.
Anything about these girls. I knew nothing. But I just saw the video of the rage of the girl that was beating up the other girl.
Yeah.
And my first thought was not pity for the girl who's being beat up, which should be. I guess I should have thought about that first. But for whatever reason, I don't know, my first thought was I felt sorry for the girl that had that rage.
No. And thank you for saying yes.
I'm wondering,
what does she do to make her
what happened
get to
in
that
her
level?
life
That
at 15 years old, she had such rage in her heart to bash this other girl's skull into the ground. My first thought is, you know, what's happening to them? What are they living through?
That makes them want to take it out on other people.
Yes.
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 I actually, you probably don't know this. I know you don't. But when Courtney and I grew up in Chaffee, Missouri, let's see, your mother was already gone to school. I was probably like 12. And we had, my parents every day, or every summer, would get Courtney and myself a pass to the public swimming pool, which was across the street from where Grandma Capshaw lived.
Right.
And so we had a public pass. So every day, almost every day, we'd ride our bicycles to the public pool. We'd park our bikes into the little slots. You'd stand in line and wait for the door to open. When the door opened, there'd be a person with a cash register, and you'd go up to the cash register and you show your pass, and they would give you a pin that was it was kind of like a baby diaper pin on steroids.
Right.
And it would have a number on it. It would say 130.
Yeah.
So then you go find the basket. Of course, we knew exactly where they were. The basket with that, and you put all your clothing into your flip flops and your swimwear and everything into the basket, and then you take the pin and you put it on your swimming suit. Well, most of the time, the pins were, because they were old, were very rusty.
Oh.
So you were trying to stick the pin through your swimming suit,
But you stick
which
yourself.
was very unhealthy at the time.
Right.
And we would swim. Mom would give us 35 cents when we would go, because you could get a Coke for 25 cents.
Sure.
And a bag of chips for 10.
Wow.
So we could have a snack when we went.
Of course.
But Courtney and myself, for whatever reason, and we were bullied. People were mean to us.
Yeah.
And I think it's because they thought that our grandfather was rich, which he wasn't. But compared to everyone in Chaffee,
He worked hard though. He worked hard.
oh yeah, he worked hard.
Yeah,
But compared to everybody in Chaffee, we were very comfortable. I mean, we really didn't have that much.
But you live comfortably. Right.
But we really didn't have much at all. But we didn't really want a lot of things.
Right.
But we had, a stable home in life.
Sure.
Anyway, it's just, so I kind of know a little bit about what it feels like to be bullied. I don't know what you went through in high school.
Yeah.
Because it didn't happen to me in high school. But I do remember really being, they used to call my sister Jesus and me God. That was their nickname at the public school. And that was hurtful.
Yeah, it's because they were saying, oh, you think you're holy, then
Yes.
art thou? Or,
Yeah, and it was very hurtful.
yeah, that's not cool.
No, and we was made us sad, and it was hard. And we did nothing to deserve that, because we didn't act like that.
No.
But they thought that we were better, and which we weren't, and didn't act that way. But so I know a little bit about bullying in that sense, but I don't think I know it I know I do not know it to the extent that I know you went through.
And you know what's funny? Because I did not end up being like that girl who wanted to have revenge. Okay, if we're being honest, yeah, when I was young and dumb and I wanted to get back at those people, I wanted to get revenge. Sure, why not? And let's see.
There's our 70-year-old woman.
You want to join us? We're talking right now.
Come out here and join us.
Is that my cocktail?
No. I like your PJs.
These are the ones.
I know, I like them.
That's the sharp.
Hold on, everybody. We'll be right back. And we're back, everybody. My mom was coming out here to talk to us really quick, just trying to wrap up the night a little bit. Anyway, but no, so what I'm saying is that to the extent of, hold on 1 second, people. But to the extent of what you were saying, though, I think the reason, but oh no, my mom's joining us. My mom, hi everyone. So I just had my mom, Joyce Capshaw, here join us for the podcast. We're just talking about life and things like that in general.
No, good.
Yeah, feel free to sit here and talk. You're good, Mom.
We're having a good conversation.
I think the reason that I didn't want, when I was young and dumb, of course I wanted revenge. I wanted to get back at those people. But like you said, because this woman right here, she helped me have the maturity of realizing maybe what they're going through at home is worse than what they could be dealing with. So I'm thinking, you know what? But the way I handled it, though, I went through mixed martial arts. I went to kung fu. I went to therapy. I did all these different things to help me out and to really help. But like you said, that lingering still hurts.
And isn't that wonderful, though, that you had a
The
mother
resources.
that gave you the resources?
Yeah, thank you, Mom.
Yeah, but of course it still hurts.
Yeah,
of course it does.
It's not cool.
Yeah, I mean, anytime anyone is mean to you, it hurts you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
But to your point, though, I think the reason I matured so much is going. This is going to sound. This is not right that I didn't mature through that. But I think the reason I'm so wise and so loving and caring is because of God and because of this woman right here too. But because of what I went through, and like I said, and I see the hate and I see how people are, and it's like I don't want that. I don't want any part of that. You know, it's not.
no.
It's not worth it.
And it's not who you are. It's not who you are.
Bye, Mama. All right. Anyways, you want to come see what we're talking about? Mama's going back inside now. No, it's not who I am, and the thing is that I was at one point kind of like that.
Think about what you're going to be able to
Show my kid.
Yeah, to give. You're going to be able to give Jack so much knowledge, so much experience in how to deal with people, and there's difficult people every single day.
Yeah.
And I know I used to always tell the kids, when they're in difficult spots, I would say, smile and wave, smile and wave. Sometimes it's really hard to do that. And the other thing I used to always tell my kids when they walked out the door, I would say, when they were in high school, I'd say, going out for Friday night or Saturday night, I go, make your family proud.
Right. Hey, I like that. I like that. Look, go out and have fun, but don't have anything that's going to come back on us. I don't want to be in the news for you. It's something silly like, Tracy Gibbs under arrest for like, what'd she do? No, I'm kidding. No, but no. Here's the thing: is that life is crazy. It's scary. It's just like we're all trying to see what we can do to be successful and make it through. And I think the problem is that most people want to become a celebrity, or they want to become famous, or they want to become a big hotshot.
Yeah.
And all my videos, not all my videos, but in a lot of my videos, I say, I don't care if I become famous.
Yeah.
All I care about is making a difference. That's all I want to do.
But you know what, Colby? You very seldom do people have the opportunity to really, pull someone from a burning car or save a drowning child. I mean, those are amazing things that change that person's life.
But they don't get recognized like a celebrity doing it.
But
or like a Hollywood star.
It's the everyday little things.
That's what counts.
Really make a difference. Like when you check out at Schnucks, go in the grocery store, tell the checker, say, gosh, I love your fingernail polish color, or your hair looks great, or you got a great smile. Yeah, I think you should almost always, when you interact with someone, you should always tell them something positive that makes them feel good.
Mm-hmm.
It just you have no idea how that might have changed that person's day or made them feel about themselves.
Even just a smile.
The tiniest little thing makes a huge difference. And especially in today's world, I mean, there's all kinds of things going on that, I wake up in the middle of the night and I feel almost panicked about, I worry so much about just, all the children that are being, we'll get into politics, I won't do that, but I worry a lot about what's going on, and it keeps me up at night sometimes. But the thing is that we can't save the universe.
No, we can't.
We can only make a difference in our family and in the people that we come in contact with on a daily basis.
Right.
And you hope that positive interaction then triggers them to have a positive reaction in their world, and it spurs off like that. Exactly.
That's why I do what I do, because not only did God give me this talent, but again, I'm not trying to sound like I'm, like, okay, Tony Robbins, that guy, he's worldwide famous. He gets paid millions of dollars to give business lectures about how he's a business professional in what he does, right? I'm no Tony Robbins by any means. I'm almost a nobody, but like you said, well, thank you, but if I can make a difference in this hatred world,
And you're doing that by what you're doing. You're making a difference. But I don't think it's a hatred world.
no, maybe not world, but maybe.
I think most people are.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think most
word that better for me because I'm lost there. So.
I think most people that are in my world, and I do realize at my age that my world is pretty small. But I do think that most people that I'm around are kind people.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't really know how to be kind. Does that make any sense?
Exactly.
They don't know how to-
Yeah.
They don't know how to be kind, but I feel like that comes very naturally to me and everyone in my family. We know how to be kind. You were raised in a family that knows how to be kind.
Yeah.
But not everyone's raised in a family that knows how to be kind.
And I think that's why bullying hurts so much. Because I'm like, why am I such a nice guy and this person's being like this? But like you said, who knows what's going on at home?
Yeah, you just don't know. And, getting back to that girl, I'm just like,
Yeah.
at 15, and to have that rage, to me, yeah.
Well, I've been there before, and like I said, I think it's because I'm not trying to sound like I'm some big, bad guy who can beat up anyone or blah, blah, but I think it's because of my training and because of who I am and how big and strong I am physically and everything like that, and I knew what I was capable of. I think that's why I never fought back. Because I'm like, if I do what you're doing to me, I'm going to go to prison.
Yeah.
Because you've built up so much anger.
Probably you didn't do it because you're a kind person, and that's not a kind thing to do.
And it's because no, it's not. It's because like I'm not trying to be that guy, but I know if that would have broke me and made me that person, if I were to attack that person who gave me all the credit for all those years, I probably wouldn't have stopped, if you know what I mean. And not saying I would have ended their what, but what I'm saying is that I would make sure they remembered who I am. But I don't want to be that person though. See, I train to fight so I don't have to. I train to fight to protect myself. I don't train to fight so I'm not looking for a fight. That's not who I am.
Well, and also too, I think that this is something that comes with age, but prayer is powerful.
Yes, it is.
So powerful. And when you have people that are against you and are hurting you, your best weapon is
Is
to pray
God.
for them.
Yeah.
To pray for them.
Yeah.
That's your best weapon.
Yeah. No, you have to sometimes. Not sometimes you have to. Especially when, like I said about people in my past that I used to help out with or be friends with or do all this and that with, and they kept on showing me, like you said, who they are, and it's like, before I got closer with God, in a way, I don't think I would pray, but I would give them wisdom, or I would say to myself, I really hope they turn out better. I hope this doesn't turn out this way. I should have been asking God, you're right, but I wasn't as in tune with them as I am now.
A couple, you're 33 years old. I mean, where you are right now is remarkable in your spiritual journey, and you will be, fast forward 33 years from now, when you're 66, you'll be, it'll be amazing, but you where you are right now is remarkable. Most people aren't where you are spiritually, and you should be proud of that.
I am, because, it took me a minute to turn over as much as I have. I still have to let my walls down completely, but...
And your wife, Maggie, has helped you with your spirituality.
Yeah, with her family upbringing and how religious her dad is. Oh, yeah, 100%.
That's just very wonderful, because I said to your mom today at the pool, I said, can you imagine not believing in God? can you imagine, like, what your day would be like?
Yeah.
And then your mother said to me, she said, well, what do you think it's going to be like when we're in heaven? Or not, no, I'm sorry, I misspoke her. What do you think it would be like to be in heaven? Are we going to have we're not going to have our bodies? Do you think we can see down on other people, on the people we love? And I said, you know what? I think that's where faith comes in. We don't know. We just have to have faith. And I just think that this, at my age, I know that God always has a better plan for me than the plan I have for myself. And so I think that heaven, we really have no idea what God has in store for us.
All right.
So anyway, I said, I don't know. I don't.
No, he will show you. Like that's the thing is that's why life is so scary because you don't know. But then when good things come to you, it's like, oh, okay, he's showing me. But the problem is that I like it that you said that my boss and I talk about that all the time. As soon as you say I, God turns his face away. You want to know why? Because you're not worshiping him. Because you're not doing it through him. That might sound now that makes me sound like a bad person. But think about how selfish that sounds. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want it this way. I want it that way. But guess what? You failed. You've already failed. You want to know why? Because you're not letting him lead your life.
Yes.
You're not letting him show you what to do.
You know better than God.
You think you are God. That's what my boss says. As soon as you say I, he does this. I know people who are listening can't visually see me, but he turns away. Oh, you want to be God? Go ahead.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you say I give up,
Yeah.
he turns right back towards you like, okay, now I know you. As soon as you see that, he turns his face saying, I never knew this person.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
they don't want to.
And so
Again, that doesn't make you better than anyone else. That doesn't make me better than anyone else.
Yeah.
It's just that we see the light versus what other people don't. Now, I still have to walk through that narrow gate and turn my life over completely. I know that. But I know that the reason he's been so easy on me is because he can tell that I try and I care. I'm not faking it. I'm not like, oh, I believe in God and then go out and do something stupid. You know, I'm not, he can see that I'm living as much of a faith-based life as I can while still being myself. But I know he's going to show me my true self when I fully turn over.
Yes.
But I know that
well, that's why I think that
know,
when you pray, instead of praying for the outcome, this is what I've learned, okay, in my life. Instead of praying for the outcome that I want, I've learned to pray for the outcome that God wants.
Yeah, you see, that's what I'm talking about.
And I really do. I say, you know what, God? This is going on right now, but I want you to make whatever happens what you want.
Yeah, exactly. Like when it was raining the other day, I was like, it sucks that it's raining, but thank you, God, for letting me be here with my family. Because it's raining, because I'm not in St. Louis freezing my butt off.
Yeah. Well, those are things that are just
supplemental
life.
to life.
But,
yeah, right.
But in the bigger picture, when there's really big things happening,
huge things,
and I really am struggling over that. I've learned to say, oh my gosh, please God, let this happen, let this happen, let this happen, let this happen. I've learned to say, you know what, Lord, this is what I would like to happen, but I know in my heart that I should pray for what you want to happen.
Yeah.
Because you know better than I do.
And the biggest problem is our own desire. My boss and I talk about that all the time. When you have a desire, it can be a bad thing because that desire could turn out to not be what you wanted. So you should let God let you be your desire, because as soon as you say, again, I want this, I want my desire to be that, and you turn away from him, he's going to say, okay, have fun with that.
Yeah.
And when it turns out like you don't want it to, and
Yeah.
you come back to me, I'm going to say, told you so. With not in a mean way. God wouldn't do that to us, but it's like, as soon as you go back to him, hey, guess what? I told you so. You woke up, didn't you? Yeah. You did this, and you found the consequence of what you wanted to do. Wake up. Look what happened.
And you know what and you know what else is really important, and I've actually learned this from Mark's youngest daughter, Leah.
Yeah.
Is that she is kind of introduced me. into a thought of manifesting.
Manifestation, yeah.
And she really believes in it.
Yeah.
It has worked for her, and it's kind of new to me. I never really gave any thought to that kind of thought process, but I'm learning about it, and I can't really talk too much about it in my own personal life.
Sure, yeah, you don't want
But
to,
through her, I have seen it work for her.
There you go.
And I think for young people that might be listening, I think that is something that if I were young, I would spend more time trying to understand and educate myself on. Is
100%.
what she does is manifesting what she wants. Actually, Madeline does this also.
There you go.
And if Madeline is listening to this, she's probably going to say, "Mom, I was doing that way before you saw Leah doing it." And now that I'm kind of really thinking about it, she was. Madeline was practicing that thought process.
Mhm.
So I think that's just something to that. I don't know a lot about it, but
Well, that's kind of like, it's funny you say that. I think, but as soon as you said that, the first thing I think of was when my wife and I, even before we got married, I think we were just dating. Weren't we engaged? Wait. Anyway, we went down to KC, and we were going around all the different restaurants and Madeline and all that, and she's like, she's working for like not a fashion magazine, but some company that involved like clothing, right? And she's like, I really like this, but I would rather do this because they got better benefits and things.
Yeah.
But I love these people over here so much. I don't remember if she ever told me if she moved on to that other company or not. If she stayed with the old company, but it's like one of those things where it's like, look, you can love all the people around you that you want, but if not just your own personal being, but if God is saying, hey, you know what, you should move on. Do what he wants. Now, but like it's funny you say that because that's when you said Madeline and moving on and things like this and being faith-based, that's the first thing I thought of was, like years ago. And she's like, I want to do this, then I want to do that. Do you ever know what came of that, by the way?
I'm sorry, with Madeline's.
Yeah, Madeline, like when she worked for the clothing line, well, not a clothing line, but it was like
It
a
was,
fashion company or something like that, right? One minute.
No, I mean, I'm not really sure how to answer that. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really sure what you're referring to.
Well, no, you're fine.
Was it the Columbia
I think
Journal?
so. Might have been. She was living
Well, that was when she was in college.
in college.
It
Well,
was an internship.
she and not recently, but they're still in KC, right? Or did they move back?
No, they're in Columbia.
Columbia. This one, they were living in KC for a little bit, and I remember Maggie and I, we took the train down to go see them, and then she was like not in between jobs, but she was working for some clothing line or some fashion company or something like where I can't remember if it was clothes. I'm sorry. Anyway. What I'm saying is that she was working for a company. She really loved it, but she also remember she said, I want to move on to here because I think it'd be a better fit, but I'm not sure. So my guess, and this is my guess, is that she moved on because she's back in Columbia. So my guess is she took that second job, that other job that's better for her because she got to come back home, right? I don't know. So
She's an amazing person.
Yeah, she is.
She is so good with people. Oh my gosh, she's good with people.
You want to know something's funny? I have to give your daughter a lot of credit
Oh, I know.
for Maggie.
I tell your mom sometimes that all the time. No, I say, Mom, your mom, Kobe and Maggie are together because of Madeline.
Yeah. No, I'm not even kidding you. It was, what party? So it might have been the 70th of Bobby in New York. It was that party we had where we went down to the basement area and it was all rented out. We played that video, I think, for everybody. It was like that bar area. It was like
Was it in New York?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I can't remember that. So what are you saying about that?
Anyway.
Maggie wasn't there.
No, she wasn't. But Madeline was.
Yeah.
We were standing outside, had our drink on.
Was Will there?
You know what? They might have been married.
Yes,
Yeah, he was.
Will was there, but they weren't married.
No. And she looks at me, she goes, what are you doing with your life? I'm like, what? Now remember, we're kind of drunk, so she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean what I'm doing? She's like, why do you keep getting with these stupid girls who want nothing to better your life? and who are making you miserable. And you've got Maggie here who has been with you ever since day one. She's forgiven you for all the girls you've been with. She wants to marry. She wants nothing but love for you. And she's like, every time something bad happens, you go back to her. And it's not because, I treat her like a rebound person. It's because I knew there was true love there. And Madeline's like, you better wake up and call her and see what's going on before she goes away. Because trust me, someone like her is hard to come by.
I know.
And I'm telling you, if it weren't for that conversation, thanks to Madeline, we wouldn't.
Oh, Matt, you know what? You know that you said the insignia on your ring says "I got your back."
Yeah, I've got you. Yeah.
That Madeline always has your back.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
She's always got your back.
And Mary's a great person too. I'm glad that she and Brady, right? Sorry, I get there's so many names in the family.
I know.
I'm glad her and Brady got married and had a kid. It's awesome. He's so cute.
Well, this has been good to talk to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm trying to think of what else we can say, really. We've been talking for almost an hour.
Well, we're happy to be here for your mother's birthday.
But yeah, hey everyone, just to let you know, so my mother's birthday tomorrow. She's turning 71? 70? Just 70? Yeah.
At 8:05 p.m.
8:05 p.m. We'll celebrate by mid-afternoon tomorrow. Anyway, Tracy, I'm trying to think of what else we could talk about, just about life and. Okay, actually, I do have a few questions before we head off here, because we've been talking about for 45 minutes. What is speaking of you being a mom, you being the awesome person that you are, and just the good advice that you can give to everybody, whether it comes to parenting or life, before we end things off, what do you think is some of the best life advice you can give to everybody right now? Oh, not some of the best, but like some good core. Here's a better way to ask that. What are some good core principles that you have that you live by in your life and that made you successful at what you do? That's a better question.
Well, I think I'm just going to say with my children, all three of them, I would say I always wanted to, okay, I'm just going to change a little bit of train of thought here.
Yeah, fine, yeah.
When I would put my children to bed, all three of them, at night, I made a point to lay in bed with them for about 30 minutes at the end of every day, and we would just talk. And so, everybody had their own bedroom. We just lay in bed and we talk, and with Hallie, he was the youngest, we would read. But our bedtime, because for three children, took about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, maybe a little longer. But I would say that the end of the day is really important. You really need to end the day. My feeling is you really need to end every day with your child while they're under your roof. You need to end the day connecting.
Yes.
You've got to connect with them. You've got to find out what happened to them that day. What happened at school? What happened with your friends? What are you thinking? What's going to happen tomorrow for you? What's your day like tomorrow?
Yeah.
Ask them, what's your day going to be like tomorrow? What's going on? I just feel like you have to talk with your children. Was the question life advice for parents?
Pretty much, yeah. Or just or from your perspective on parenting, yeah.
That's what I would say. Always be there. Don't try to. It's very hard for people to. It's very hard for parents to not want their children to be just like them, because it's so hard. Mm-hmm. You want your kids to be just like you, and to do everything like you do it, but they don't do it because they're different people. And so you have to really open your mind up to the fact that, you know, I really love this person, and I've birthed them, I've raised them,
Yeah.
but they're doing their thing their own way, and that is awesome.
And that's okay.
That's awesome.
That's okay. The last thing you want to do, like they say, is live vicariously through your own children. Oh, you didn't succeed in this. Don't make your kid do it. That's not right to them. That's not fair to them.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, I didn't succeed in football. I didn't succeed in business. I didn't succeed in doing this. Let me push my kid in being something that they don't want to be to make myself feel better.
Yeah.
That's selfish. I'm sorry, but that, and no offense to parents who do that, but that's a very selfish thing to do.
It is.
It is.
It is. But it's very natural.
I know,
you want
100%, yeah.
You want your kids to be doing things you do, but I mean, because that's your comfort zone.
Yeah.
It's what, you know, everybody wants to be in their comfort zone.
Like, is Jack going to go into marketing and security like I am? I don't know. And if he doesn't, that's fine. As long as he's happy and successful and he's at least making it in life, that's all Maggie and I care about. It doesn't matter what he does. I mean, shoot, they say, if you're a ditch digger and you love what you do, you better be the best ditch digger you can be, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and some people love doing those, like some people don't want to even do all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know how many people I've, ran into that, or stories about people who pick up trash on people's streets, and they absolutely love doing that, and that's all
Yeah.
they want to do the rest of their life?
You know, honestly, I think a job I would really enjoy is being a grocery bagger at the store, like the bag of groceries. But I think if you just I really think that the best thing you can do is teach children to be kind and respectful
Yes.
to everyone.
Yeah.
Not only elders, which they should be, but just to everyone. Treat everyone with respect. And I feel like maybe sometimes we don't teach that at a young age. But anyway.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think we had a good conversation.
I think we did.
Tracy, thank you.
You're welcome.
You know I love you to death.
My cousin.
My cousin / my aunt, Tracy.
Cheers.
Cheers. And let's end this off with a prayer, right on there.
Pardon?
With a prayer?
Oh, that'd be nice. Okay.
Dear Lord, please look over my family. And look over the Gibbses. Thank you for bringing me Tracy into my life. And thank you for having her to have the courage and the voice of this podcast with me. I know that no matter where you lead our life to be, as long as we turn to you, that's all that matters. So please keep leading our life in the right direction. Please keep letting Tracy be the awesome person that she is. And please keep leading me to be a better husband, a better father, and everything that I do with my life. And I just want to say thank you, Lord, for everything that you've shown us, that you've given us, and everything that you made us to be who we are today. Amen.
Oh, I love that prayer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh
I love
my
you.
gosh, I love that prayer.
Love you. You know I love you.
I know, and I love you too.
Well, everybody, this has been Carmen's Capsule, so Mr. Smiles a lot with another Let's Talk Minute LLC audio podcast. If you need a marketer, advertiser, or a martial arts coach and you live in St. Louis, please let me know. And just like my business slogan says, I'm here to talk about all of your needs. This is me signing off, and Tracy signing off. Thank you very much, and love you all. Have a good night.